Culture is the way we live. It is our customs, our traditions. It is the art we create. It is the stories we tell our children. Culture shapes our identity. It gives us a sense of belonging. In the Arab world, culture is rich and diverse. It stretches back thousands of years. It is a tapestry woven with many threads. These threads include language, religion, history, and shared experiences. Understanding our own culture is the first step. It is the foundation upon which we can build more. True culture is not static. It evolves and grows with us, adapting to new realities while respecting its roots. It is a living entity, breathed into existence by its people. Enlightenment means to bring light. It is about seeking knowledge and understanding. It is about waking up our minds. Historically, enlightenment led to great progress. It encouraged science, reason, and human rights. In today's world, enlightenment is still crucial. It helps us solve problems. It guides us to make better decisions for ourselves and our communities. For the Arab world, enlightenment means looking forward. It means embracing new ideas. It means questioning old habits that no longer serve us. It is a journey from darkness or lack of knowledge towards clarity and informed perspectives, fostering intellectual independence and a desire for truth. These concepts, culture and enlightenment, are deeply connected in the Arab context. Our culture has a long history of intellectual pursuits. Think of the golden age of Islam. Scholars made huge advances in many fields. This was a time of great enlightenment. Today, we can draw inspiration from this past. We can revive that spirit of inquiry. To be cultured in the Arab world today means to understand our heritage. It also means to be open to the world. It means to seek knowledge from all sources. It is about blending the wisdom of our ancestors with the innovations of the present, creating a unique and dynamic cultural identity that is both rooted and forward-looking. The goal of becoming cultured is not just personal, it is also for our society. A cultured individual contributes positively. They can engage in meaningful discussions. They can offer solutions to societal challenges. They can inspire others to learn and grow. In the Arab world, we need more such individuals. We need people who think deeply. We need people who care about progress. Becoming cultured is a responsibility. It is a path to a better future for all of us. It's about enriching not just our own lives, but the collective life of our ummah, fostering understanding, tolerance, and progress for generations to come. Language is more than just words. It is the framework of our thoughts. It is how we understand the world. It is how we share our ideas with others. Without language, complex thinking is difficult. Without language, building knowledge is almost impossible. Every word we learn opens up a new concept. Every sentence we form helps us connect ideas. Language is the primary vehicle for transmitting culture. It carries our history, our values, and our collective wisdom across generations. It is the invisible thread that binds a community together, allowing for the complex interactions that define human society and progress. The Arabic language is incredibly rich. It has a vast vocabulary. It has a complex and beautiful grammar. For centuries, Arabic was the language of scholarship. Scientists, philosophers, and poets in the Arab world used Arabic to express profound ideas. This language holds the keys to a massive treasure of knowledge. Understanding Arabic well allows us to access this heritage directly. It allows us to read the original texts. It allows us to appreciate the nuances that are often lost in translation. The eloquence of Arabic, its precision, and its poetic nature have made it a vessel for some of humanity's most significant intellectual and spiritual contributions. Mastering Arabic is therefore essential. It is not just about communication. It is about connecting with our roots. It is about understanding our identity more deeply. When we read classical Arabic texts, we engage in a dialogue with our ancestors. We learn from their wisdom and their mistakes. This connection enriches our understanding of who we are. It gives us a stronger foundation for the future. This linguistic proficiency is not merely an academic exercise. It is an act of cultural reclamation and intellectual empowerment, allowing us to navigate our world with greater depth and insight, drawing from the wellspring of our own heritage. However, there is a challenge. Modern Arabic usage sometimes differs from classical Arabic. Slang and foreign words are common. While languages evolve, we must also strive to preserve the integrity of Arabic. We need to encourage its proper use. We need to ensure it remains a vibrant and powerful tool for thought and expression. This means supporting Arabic education. It means promoting Arabic content. It means taking pride in our beautiful language. We must find a balance between adaptation and preservation, ensuring Arabic remains relevant in the modern world while retaining its unique richness and expressive power for future generations. Traditional ways of understanding the Quran are very important. For centuries, scholars have dedicated their lives to interpreting its verses. They developed methodologies like tafsir. These methods help us understand the literal meaning. They provide historical context. This traditional scholarship is a valuable foundation. It has preserved knowledge and guided communities. We must respect and learn from these efforts. They offer a crucial starting point for anyone wishing to engage deeply with the sacred text, providing a lineage of understanding that connects us to past generations of believers and thinkers. This foundation is not to be discarded but built upon. However, times change. Our understanding of the world grows. We face new challenges. So we also need contemporary approaches to the Quran. This means looking at the text with fresh eyes. It means considering new knowledge from various fields. For example, linguistics can help us understand the nuances of Quranic Arabic better. History can shed more light on the context of revelation. Sociology can help us see how its teachings apply to modern societies. These new approaches do not aim to replace traditional ones. Instead, they seek to enrich our understanding and make the Quran's message more relevant to our current lives, fostering a dynamic engagement with the text. It is important to move beyond just literal interpretations. The Quran contains many layers of meaning. It has universal messages of justice, compassion, and knowledge. These messages transcend specific times and places. Focusing only on the literal can sometimes obscure these deeper meanings. We need to think about the spirit of the text. What are the underlying principles? How can these principles guide us today? This requires reflection and critical thought. It means engaging with the text intellectually as well as spiritually, seeking the wisdom that speaks to the core of the human condition across all ages and cultures. Interdisciplinary studies can greatly help in this. Imagine a historian, a sociologist, a linguist, and a theologian discussing a Quranic verse together. Each would bring a unique perspective. This collaborative approach can unlock new insights. It can help us see connections we might have missed. This kind of intellectual engagement makes our understanding of the Quran more holistic. It makes it more robust. It encourages a culture of learning and inquiry around our most sacred text, ensuring its continued relevance and guidance in a complex, ever-changing world, and fostering a community of learners dedicated to its profound teachings. Critical thinking is a vital skill. It means not just accepting information passively. It means asking questions. Why is this true? What is the evidence? Are there other perspectives? It involves analyzing information carefully. It involves evaluating its credibility and relevance. Critical thinking helps us to form our own judgments. It protects us from manipulation and misinformation. It is the ability to dissect arguments, identify assumptions, and draw logical conclusions. This skill is not about being negative or overly critical. It is about being discerning and thoughtful in our approach to knowledge and claims. A vibrant culture needs critical thinking. Without it, societies can stagnate. They can become stuck in old ways of thinking that are no longer beneficial. Critical thinking fuels innovation and progress. It encourages people to challenge the status quo constructively. It allows for the evolution of ideas and practices. When individuals in a society think critically, they are more likely to identify problems accurately. They are also more likely to find effective solutions. This creates a dynamic and adaptive culture, one that is capable of growth and positive transformation, rather than one that merely replicates the past without question. We must apply critical thinking to all sources of information. This includes religious narratives, political statements, and media content. It is not disrespectful to question. In fact, true understanding often comes from questioning. When we examine religious texts with reason, we can deepen our faith. When we analyze political discourse critically, we become more informed citizens. This process helps us distinguish between substance and rhetoric. It allows us to make choices based on understanding rather than blind acceptance. The application of reason to all domains of life is a hallmark of an enlightened individual and a progressive society. Developing critical thinking requires courage. It means being willing to challenge widely accepted beliefs, even our own. It means being open to being wrong. This can be uncomfortable, but it is essential for intellectual growth. We must foster a culture where reasoned discourse is valued. We need spaces where different viewpoints can be discussed respectfully. Through such engagement, we can refine our understanding. We can collectively move towards greater wisdom. This courage to think differently and to engage in thoughtful debate is what propels a culture forward, ensuring it remains relevant and responsive to the needs of its people. Section 5: Cultivating a new generation of thinkers in Arab societies. What does it mean to be an intellectual in the Arab world today? It is not just about having a university degree. It is not only about writing academic papers. A true intellectual is a thinker. They are curious about the world. They engage with important societal issues. They strive to understand deeply and communicate clearly. They have a sense of responsibility towards their community. They use their knowledge to shed light, to provoke thought, and to inspire positive change. An intellectual is a public conscience, someone who is not afraid to speak truth to power, armed with knowledge and reason. Our education systems play a crucial role here. For too long, many systems have focused on rote learning. Students memorize facts without truly understanding them. This does not cultivate thinkers. We need an education that fosters curiosity. We need schools and universities that teach students how to think critically. They should encourage questioning and debate. They should equip students with the skills to analyze information and solve problems creatively. The goal should be to produce graduates who are not just knowledgeable, but also capable of independent thought and lifelong learning, ready to contribute meaningfully to society. We also need to create spaces for intellectual exchange. Think of the old literary salons. People would gather to discuss ideas, share poetry, and debate philosophies. We need modern versions of these. These could be physical spaces like cafes or community centers. They could also be online forums and platforms. The important thing is to have places where people feel safe to express diverse opinions. These spaces allow ideas to be tested and refined. They help build a community of thinkers who can learn from each other. Such environments are fertile ground for the growth of intellectual capital within society. Current intellectuals have a significant responsibility. They need to act as mentors. They should inspire and guide the younger generation. Sharing knowledge and experience is vital. Encouraging young people to read, to question, and to engage in public discourse is key. By nurturing emerging talents, we can ensure a continuous renewal of intellectual life in the Arab world. This mentorship can take many forms, from formal teaching to informal discussions, but its essence lies in fostering a passion for knowledge and a commitment to using that knowledge for the common good, ensuring a legacy of thoughtful engagement. Section 6: The Art of Reading, Specialization and Choosing Your Books. The world of books is like a vast ocean. No single person can read everything. There are millions of books on countless subjects. Trying to read randomly without a plan can be overwhelming. It can also be inefficient. While general reading is good for broadening horizons, focused reading has its own powerful benefits. It allows us to dive deep into specific areas. This depth can lead to expertise and profound understanding. Therefore, a strategic approach to reading is essential for anyone serious about becoming truly cultured and knowledgeable in a sustainable way. Choosing specific areas of interest for deep reading is a wise strategy. This is what specialization in reading means. Perhaps you are passionate about Arab history, or maybe Islamic philosophy, or modern sociology, or even a specific scientific field. By focusing your reading, you can build a strong foundation in that area. You start to see connections between different books and ideas within that field. This leads to a much richer understanding than just skimming the surface of many topics. This focused approach helps in developing a coherent framework of knowledge, making learning more meaningful and impactful. How do we choose books wisely? This is a critical skill. First, consider the author's credibility. What are their qualifications? Are they respected in their field? Second, look for reviews from reliable sources. What do other experts or thoughtful readers say about the book? Third, assess the relevance of the book to your learning goals. Will this book help you understand your chosen subject better? Do not just follow bestseller lists blindly. Choose books that will truly nourish your mind and expand your understanding in the areas you care about. This thoughtful selection process saves time and maximizes learning. While specialization is important, we should not become too narrow. It is good to balance deep reading in our chosen fields with some broader reading. Reading outside our specialty can spark new ideas. It can help us see connections between different fields of knowledge. It keeps our minds flexible and open. A truly cultured person has both depth and breadth in their understanding. So, dedicate most of your reading time to your specializations, but also set aside some time to explore other interesting topics. This balance ensures a well-rounded intellectual development, preventing the isolation that can come from too narrow a focus. Section 7. Social media, double-edged sword for culture. Social media is a powerful modern tool. It connects people across vast distances instantly. It allows for the rapid sharing of information, news, and ideas. This speed and reach are unprecedented in human history. For cultural dissemination, this presents enormous opportunities. Thinkers, writers, and artists can share their work with a global audience. Educational content can be made accessible to millions. Discussions on important cultural and social issues can happen in real time, involving diverse voices from various backgrounds. This connectivity can foster a sense of global community and shared learning. This technology has the potential to democratize knowledge. In the past, access to information and platforms for expression was often limited. Social media can bypass traditional gatekeepers. It gives a voice to individuals and groups who might otherwise be unheard. Diverse perspectives can enrich cultural discourse. New talents can be discovered. Grassroots movements for social and cultural change can gain momentum. This can lead to a more inclusive and dynamic cultural landscape, where ideas are judged on their merit rather than the status of their proponents. It offers a platform for counter-narratives and alternative viewpoints. However, social media also has significant dangers. Misinformation and fake news can spread like wildfire. This can distort public understanding and create confusion. Echo chambers can form, where people only see content that confirms their existing beliefs. This limits exposure to different perspectives and can increase polarization. Engagement can often be superficial, focused on likes and shares rather than deep reflection. The sheer volume of content can be overwhelming, leading to information overload rather than genuine learning. Critical discernment is paramount when navigating these digital spaces to avoid these pitfalls. To use social media constructively for cultural enrichment, we need strategies. First, curate your feeds carefully. Follow reliable sources of information and thoughtful individuals. Second, engage in discussions respectfully and critically. Do not just consume content passively. Contribute to meaningful conversations. Third, be mindful of the time spent on these platforms. Balance online engagement with offline activities like reading books and face-to-face discussions. By using social media consciously and critically, we can harness its power for good. We can use it to learn, to share valuable knowledge, and to foster a more informed and engaged citizenry. Section 8. Challenges to enlightenment in the Arab world and how to overcome them. The path to enlightenment in the Arab world faces several challenges. One major hurdle is dogmatism. This is when people cling rigidly to certain beliefs without question. It closes minds to new ideas and critical thinking. Another challenge is resistance to change. Some prefer to stick to old traditions, even if they are no longer beneficial. Censorship, in various forms, can also stifle intellectual growth. It limits access to diverse information and discourages open debate. Furthermore, a lack of resources for education and cultural institutions can hinder progress, making it difficult to foster a widespread culture of learning. Political and economic instability also significantly impacts cultural development. When societies are preoccupied with basic survival or conflict, Intellectual pursuits often take a back seat, resources are diverted, and the environment may not be conducive to free expression or scholarly work. Brain drain, where talented individuals leave their home countries, can further deplete the intellectual capital of the region. These broader socio-political factors create an environment where the pursuit of enlightenment can be difficult, requiring immense personal and collective resilience to even attempt, let alone achieve on a societal scale. How can we overcome these challenges? Promoting quality education is fundamental. Education should focus on critical thinking, creativity, and a love for learning. We must encourage open dialogue and debate, creating safe spaces for diverse opinions. Supporting cultural institutions like libraries, museums, and theatres is also vital. These institutions preserve heritage and foster creativity. Individuals also have a role to play by actively seeking knowledge and engaging in thoughtful discussions. Grassroots initiatives that promote literacy, arts, and sciences can make a significant difference from the bottom up. Overcoming these obstacles requires both individual resilience and collective effort. It needs courage from individuals to question, to learn, and to speak out. It also needs a societal commitment to valuing knowledge and intellectual freedom. Governments, civil society organizations, educators, and every citizen have a part to play. By working together, we can foster an environment where enlightenment can flourish. It is a long journey, but a necessary one. The future of the Arab world depends on our ability to cultivate a culture of continuous learning, critical inquiry, and intellectual vibrancy for all. Section 9: The Never-Ending Quest, Continuous Learning, Courageous Doubt, and Asking Why. Becoming truly cultured is not a final destination. It is not a certificate you earn. It is a continuous process, a lifelong journey. The world is constantly changing. New knowledge is always emerging. Therefore, our learning must never stop. We must remain curious. We must always seek to understand more about ourselves, our societies, and the world around us. This commitment to lifelong learning is the hallmark of an enlightened mind. It is a commitment to personal growth that extends throughout one's entire life, adapting and evolving with new experiences and information. An important part of this journey is intellectual humility. This means acknowledging that we do not know everything. It means being open to the possibility that our current beliefs might be incomplete or even wrong. True wisdom often begins with recognizing the limits of our own understanding. This humility allows us to learn from others, regardless of their background or status. It keeps our minds open to new perspectives and prevents the intellectual arrogance that can stifle growth. It fosters a teachable spirit, which is essential for continuous development and deeper insight. We should embrace doubt and questioning. Sometimes, doubt is seen as a weakness or a lack of faith, but constructive doubt can be a powerful catalyst for deeper understanding. When we question our assumptions, when we ask why and how do we know, we push ourselves to seek better answers. This process of inquiry strengthens our convictions if they are sound. If they are not, it helps us to correct them. Courageous doubt is not about disbelief. It is about a sincere search for truth and a refusal to accept things blindly. It is an engine of intellectual progress. So, the final advice is this: be endlessly curious. Be brave enough to ask difficult questions, even of yourself. Be critical in your thinking, but also open in your heart. Read widely, listen attentively, and reflect deeply. The path to becoming a cultured and enlightened individual in the Arab world, or anywhere, is paved with persistent effort and intellectual courage. It is a journey that enriches not only ourselves but also contributes to a more thoughtful, understanding, and progressive society. Let us all embark on this quest with passion and perseverance for a brighter future.